we go. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mental health.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, what's going on? So, straight talk leads to straight understanding. I got my man Bear here. Well, I'm sorry. Is that appropriate?
Yes, Big Ben is still appropriate.
All right, all right.
Yeah, or we could use the hold on. What did Brett call me? The greatest idea man in the world.
Yeah.
Still the greatest idea man.
The greatest idea man. Yo.
I see Diane. Hey, Diane.
Hi. What's up, Diane? So, yo, you good to have on this topic because the topic that I'm gonna have today is it possible having a relationship while working in the industry?
I think. Oh, okay. It depends on your goal.
I agree with you. I mean, to be honest, anything's possible. Let's just say that. Anything's possible.
Anything is possible, but that's not probable. It's not probable to maintain a relationship through being in the industry, especially now.
Man.
God forbid they had video and all this shit back in our day.
Yeah.
And people being so vested in your relationship when 9 times out of 10 they don't have their own relationship. You know what I mean?
True that. So I'm saying that I'm over here on Facebook, I'm over here on IG, and I'm down here on Yard Stream. So all my people, I hope y'all can hear my man Bears over here on Instagram. If y'all want to check him out, come to my Instagram page and we're live over here. But if not, just listen in. We're talking about whether or not we can have a relationship in the industry. We both go back at least 2 to 3 decades in the industry, at least. And we've, I'm sure, had our challenges.
It's
3 decades. I'm sure we have had our challenges in relationships in this industry. I can speak for myself. I will say this.
Yeah.
I don't have the time and energy often that it requires for a relationship, that a relationship deserves, while I'm pursuing my goals and endeavors as far as chasing my money, or vice versa. If I'm chasing my relationship, I don't always devote the time and energy necessary to my chasing my money. That balance is, I have challenges with it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I have challenges with it. So speak on what.
Yes. No, the challenge becomes it's the gift and the curse.
Yep.
The gift is that you're able to chase your dreams. The curse is that you don't have enough time to spend on the relationships as you move forward. But as long as the people know that you're genuine in your pursuit, because there's a lot of cats, and I know that, they'll go on tour, come back, and their girl pregnant.
Yeah, their girl pregnant, or a girl on tour is pregnant.
Yes, that's true.
That's
true.
I've seen them both.
I wouldn't speak about it, but I actually know a gentleman who 26 years later had his son walk upon.
Wow. And I know that. And it goes to the point that I really want to highlight. And that's really about, you said genuine. It's about trust. And that's the only way it can ever work is if you got that trust. And a lot of people in this industry, it's hard to trust. You know, unfortunately, that's what we run into. Whether it's trusting a girl who, while you on the road, you don't come back to a baby or a pregnancy, or vice versa. You on the road and you ain't keeping it real, and you come back on something on, and it really boils down to keeping it real. I don't think a lot of people keep it real with themselves or with others.
Uh, See, the keeping it real part kind of fucks up because most people live in their delusion.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I hear that.
So what I mean by that is when they live in their delusion, you can't tell them nothing outside of their delusion. And then there is that delusion and that goal. Sometimes the goal is delusion.
I can't now. I agree with that, but to say that we got to it ain't always delusional. If you tell them what it is what it is. If they don't want to believe it, you can't say that you didn't tell them. What happens is, and now I will say, it's different between people who do tell them, is that people don't tell them. They'll tell them a lie. They'll be like, "Nah, wasn't me." How Shaggy said, "Wasn't me." Wasn't me. And they live up to that to where they become delusional. You like, yo, I know I saw this. I know what's going down. Well, what do you mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you okay? I got you. But people are safe in that. You know what I'm saying? Some people are safe in some men, and I'm really keeping this open because I really think it's people. I don't think it's men or women. I think right now a lot of people are fucked up. And I think that the way that the thinking is and the way social media is, and I don't really want to convict social media, but trying to put out that life delusionally, which is not really your life, feeds into your relationships. Now, back in the day, yes, there were some party tours. And there were some work tours.
Yeah.
If I'm single and I'm on a party tour,
well,
hey, strap it up, wrap it up.
Well, I agree. I gotta say this. I always say, when we was on tour at 783, I was what they would call the cock blocker. Reason being is because I had a girl and I honored that relationship. Now, she didn't honor it, from my understanding. But the point is I wasn't concerned with what she was honoring. It goes to the point of you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It's bad enough people don't trust, but this industry makes it even further. Because if I would have told you that, if you didn't witness me on the tour doing what I just said, you think it's unbelievable. Nah, no, you didn't. Nah, knock it off. But that's what happened. So I say all that to say I was 17, 18, 19 at the time. You know what I mean? So for me to be able to do it then, when I should have been soaring my wild oats, as everybody says, and all of that stuff, I hold everybody accountable for when they sit there and do otherwise. Now, I can understand everybody ain't perfect. We all, made our mistakes, including some of the mistakes that I made in other areas. But in that area, I always found it difficult because my girl at the time was like, yo, ain't no way in the world you can have all these women flocking at you and you ain't doing nothing. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, my brother, Muggs, they'd be like, nigga, what? Yo, come on. I remember being on a tour bus, I feel like we was in Alabama. And they was flocking. They was coming in the tour bus. Come on in. And they was on me for that. For some reason, they was on me at the time, the ones who came in. And I was the one like, nah, I'm chill, I'm good. And they was like, yo, go somewhere. Get the hell off this bus. You got to go. And they can attest to that. You know what I'm saying? I call it a sucker for love cat. Whatever you want to call it, that's who I was at that point. And
but again, that's goal-based because your goal wasn't to imbibe in all of the other things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been on as many tours as I've been on. After the first couple, it got to the point where it was like, that's not the goal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not the goal.
Yeah.
But again, the perception is that, yo, 783, you out here doing the thing. There's no way that you're not saying no to that. You know what I mean?
I just invited my homegirl, my sister, on the line. This is Heather Malloy. Bear me, Heather. Heather me, Bear. We needed a woman's perspective. So come on in here, sis.
Hey.
Just for the record, Heather has been in the industry for over 2 decades, going on 3 decades as well, in the publicity and a lot of behind the scenes as well. So she too can attest from her angle as a woman in the industry. So Heather, we was talking about, is it difficult to have a relationship in this industry? What's your point on that? What's your take? You choking up already.
Hey, Bear.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
All's well.
Good. Sean, you know I'm gonna keep it real, right?
Yeah.
Come all the way clean, right?
I'm listening.
So it is difficult from a woman's perspective, and not only can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I'm just on Facebook hoping that they can hear you.
Not only from the on the road. Behind the scenes person. So I'm in the office a lot. I work from home or hotel. So when I decide to chill, or when it was like time to be in lovey-dovey mode, one, I own my company, so I'm not able to just cut off like everybody else. And a lot of us understand that being industry executives, when the show stops, this part never stops. It's show business, right? Not show fun. So it becomes a challenging situation when the person that you're with, one, you said this earlier, Bear, their expectations have to be managed from the rip.
Yep. I lost you. Hold on.
They're attracted for whatever reason. The commitment part, right? I'm faithful. I'm not going to cheat. I'll do what you ask. But when you want to have sex, I was about to say something else. You want to be intimate, and that's cool. But if my phone rings, I got to answer it. I'm just saying, I'm a publicist. The entertainment industry don't stop. So I'll get what I need to get done with you, but on a regular day, I can't stop sex all day or do what you cook and clean. I can clean at the time. You got to get with my schedule.
Why I got to stop? Because you answered the phone.
You don't have to stop. But if I got to talk on the phone for
you just got to be quiet.
That's not my fault, though.
You got to be quiet. That's how you change the game. See, most people are thinking everybody wants to drink water now. See, that's how you change the game. How you want to be different. You roll over because you got, hey, we can do this quietly. You know what I'm saying? There's some things that can happen. But it's your goal.
Absolutely.
And
Now,
the other thing is,
go ahead.
What you say, Sean?
No, I was going to say y'all absolutely right. I mean, what y'all both saying is absolutely true. But let's get to the real of it. People don't say what we saying. People don't do what we talking about. That's the real. That's the straight up. People.
Hold on. The successful ones do.
Wait.
But it's lonely at the top.
They might.
Statement. It's lonely at
right.
the top. I want y'all to stop believing the lies that it's not. It is lonely at the top. You may have one or two there, but it's lonely at the top.
Absolutely.
Because everybody can't understand. Most men, I'm gonna keep it real. I know the men gonna be mad when they replay this, but I'm gonna keep it real.
Keep it real.
We out here. Most, even no matter if they speak for myself. I'm on the phone a lot. Obviously, I get paid to talk, right? So even when I'm not on the phone, I'm typing, but it should go all day, all night, from day to night. I know how to make time for.
I hope y'all can hear this.
But what happens is a lot of the men get so caught up in what they see.
But what they got going on?
Maybe working too, but they see all day she doing this, all day she doing that, all day she doing this. They like that, you know what I'm saying? They get intimidated a little bit. They don't like to feel like one example. They get water, third glass I asked for. Now you lost it, like your employees and all that goofy shit. I mean, all that kind of goofiness. So it's a problem because they like the outside part and they like to see the success and a woman go. But the minute that they feel like you went, because they're putting themselves in your world, where they like in your work world, where they don't, but they know how to separate. Like I'm a bitch at work, or I could be a boss at work. When I come home, I want to be a woman. I want to be finesse. I want to be wine and dine. Okay.
Yeah, you on the phone all the time.
Yeah, why not?
Well,
because I want the phone as well.
Right now in your room, now no disrespect to your woman, hypothetically. If I was in the room with you, we chilling. I'm on the phone, I take the call. Sean just called me, he on tour. One of the artists done acted up. I gotta talk to the press. You could continue to have all the lunch meals you like. I'm still gonna talk to the press. Cause guess what? You don't want a lazy chick. Cause you ain't with me because I'm lazy. You like me getting it. So do it. Right?
This, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we're having this discussion. Because y'all both are making great points. Go ahead, Bill.
And I understand that, but if we're both on the phone at 4 hours all the time, okay, this is what I want to. Not to brag, but for Marriott, I'm like platinum elite because I spent like 13 years in hotels.
I believe it, right?
It's like I spent like 1,300 days to like 3 years. So when I travel, if I don't immediately answer the phone, if I don't, because I'm always on the road. See, I'm not always on the phone, but I'm always on the road.
Right.
So then there's that, insecurity that pops up. What you doing? Because I know people everywhere, and I can go everywhere, and I can hang out to dinner. It's literally what's and my personality. I don't have time to.
Kim, you don't have time for the games.
There it is.
And I want to chime in there because you just mentioned something. Personality also plays a factor in it all. Because you got the personality of don't play the game. She got the personality of being very, very approachable and having to speak. I got the same personality. And all of those personalities can almost highlight an insecurity if a person has it.
That's true.
Yeah, I like that shit shines a spotlight. Don't get it twisted. That shines a spotlight.
Yeah.
But you know what I feel? Honestly, we all have some certain insecurities. Some worse than others. Some are hidden. Some are public. Maybe more than others. But if I'm intimate with you and I'm, we vibing like that, I don't want you to feel insecure, right? So the challenge for real is one, what type of, if you want a successful relationship and you got to figure out what that looks like. What does a successful relationship look like to you? Everybody got different views about what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? For me, loosely, I would say at one point in my life, just don't cheat because I don't want no STDs. I don't want nobody else's breath or DNA or none of that. Just don't do that. Like, don't do any of that goofiness.
Look, I had a chick I'd rather have a.
Huh?
You said that.
I had a chick I'd rather have a cheat with all the drama and bullshit. Just
Yo, that segues into one good point. I never understood why people pay for sex. Then wait. Then what you just said, man, made it really logical because you don't want the emotional attachments and the drama that comes along with a relationship, insecurities and all of that stuff. And I understood it. So speak on that further. Go ahead. My fault for interrupting.
Nah, it's shit. I forgot what I said.
You said you wanted the girl to cheat. You wanted her to cheat.
I wish you would have left.
Yeah.
Because that would have caused. Because everything else was the fucking problem. Cheating wasn't the problem. It was everything else. I wish you would have left.
You made a good point, Bear. That's a good point. Everybody thinks cheating is the problem. That's not always the problem.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Sometimes it simply boils down to you can find you're like, oh well, she don't cheat, but you lying about every third thing for no fucking reason. And part of that again is that insecurity. And I don't want to. I have this. Our sisters are raising our men.
Very true.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to get canceled, and I don't want to be. I gotta go.
Man, this is straight talk leads to straight understanding. That's what they need to understand. And if a sister is sitting there agreeing with you, hey, you said our sisters are raising our men. I second that.
Okay, but our sisters also chose their baby daddies.
That's true. That's true.
So what standards did you use for him not only to get the drawers, but have the boys or have kids? That's the standard. We're looking at what standard did you use. Now, I know there's some piece of shit dudes out there that lie from the door.
Right.
That lie from the door. Yeah, I'm single. I ain't got nobody. Jumped in it. Pasta. Yeah, I know some of the... But there are more men to me that simply get chosen, and then you have to deal. The sister has to deal with her choice.
Right.
And you can't have kids by that choice because, for real, shouldn't have got the drawers in the first place. I don't know what you was thinking.
Think it with our vaginas. That's what happens sometimes.
Well,
we think with our vaginas.
That's why a lot of these boys out here is vaginas.
Yeah.
Just say, but you know what? I'll tell you something different from another perspective. I got a 23-year-old son. I raised him by myself, right? And with my village, I will say that in God's grace. But
I remember the village part.
Right. But let me tell you this. I show him. I didn't have to tell him what his father wasn't doing. I show him real life. Man or woman, you got to learn how to live real life and respect yourself. And then other things will come into play. Because at one point, maybe his father did not learn that, or he did. That's not my responsibility. I'm responsible for the choice I made, the consequences that came with that choice, good, bad, or ugly. I made that choice. So now, let me show you this. He might be a piece of shit, but you're not. This is what you're not going to do, because I'm going to show you what he obviously didn't learn in his development years. So I got right? I know now, because I done fucked him, everything else. I know well, fell in love, all that. When you came, he left. So I could tell you what not to do. And so that's not so bad that our sisters are raising our men. What's happening is that the men are making a choice to use that as a crutch and an excuse.
Go ahead.
Because, I'll tell you this, at some point in life, it's not about who raised you. You got to make your choices, own your shit, and do what you need to do accordingly. Ooh. And both parties are responsible. Well, it's after the sex, after all of that, we know what it is.
Well, here's what I would say. I'm gonna jump in on that one. One, you have a great point, but two, if you're thinking ahead of time, that's part of the things you have to think about, because quite frankly, you knew, right? Yeah, you knew when you was got into the relationship with that guy who swayed you off your feet because he looked good and you just wanted that yin yang. You knew that yin yang wasn't worth nothing but the yin yang from the start.
But you didn't know. We didn't know. I didn't know, Sean. Okay.
Heather. Wait.
Hold on. Let me get you on that. Because far as the time frame. But what I'm saying is, when women are younger, that love emotion transfers onto dude. So that's, to me, where it gets kind of, because all of a sudden she's in love, but yeah, he ain't really, because half the time, if you the third baby mama, didn't you check the other two baby mamas before you decided to have the third?
No, so what? She ain't here now. I'm with you now. So what?
What? Wait. Listen.
Because what y'all don't know is men try to get women pregnant to trap them too. But come on, ladies, where y'all at?
Hold on. But what did you just say? You got to take accountability and responsibility.
Yeah, but you know they lied too. All the yin yang was good, but the men, it's an equal. Everybody, when you agree to be with somebody, you don't know what's going to happen after that. That's a part of being vulnerable and being in love or in life. Or the most vulnerable thing you could do is give them your body and your fluid.
Listen, I think the whole race needs to have fucking.
Ooh, I hope y'all hear this.
We don't need to have children until we 30. Period. Everybody needs to fucking agree on that. If we as black people could agree, none of you motherfuckers have kids until you 30. We'll be all right.
Wait. Let me jump in there, because nah.
I feel a whole lot of hearts.
Nah. I hear what you're saying, but yo, if we can have kids when we're mature enough, because 30 don't make you mature.
That's true.
30 don't make you mature. 30 don't make you responsible. 30 don't make you anything but 30. That's it.
But 18 and 19 ain't the time.
Wait, Bear. Bear, back up.
We in New York, Sean. We've been on the train.
Back up.
See that girl with a kid, with another kid, pushing another kid. Stop it.
I get that, but that ain't about age. That's about circumstance. Because there's a lot of other people that age that aren't pushing the stroller, that don't have the kid, that didn't have all of that. So it ain't about age. It's about maturity and mentality.
Listen, if we can take an 18-year-old girl and steer her to a library instead of the maternity ward, let's get it.
Well. Guess what? We could. You know how you do it? You got to first off understand what's the bait for the 18-year-old. And what's attracting them usually is the money.
But money is a good foundation to build. We are in America.
Absolutely.
We looked at, they just came out with some study last week that said the wealth gap between us and them is about $171,000. And if we all look at that, that's about the price of a home, right?
Yeah. In many places.
So if we can kind of focus on getting our money right instead of getting our emotions
but guess
our debt straight. That's
Nah, Bear, because it's still you can have a millionaire idiot. It doesn't matter that you got money. It matters about your mental, that you got understanding of what to do and and that's all it boils down to. A lot of these folks are immature, and the reason why I said it don't take 17 or 8, because I just told you at 17 years old, I still wasn't trying to out there chasing my dick. So it wasn't about the age. It was about what I felt was valuable or not, and vice versa. What others were. Now I might have did some other stuff, like you might have tried to rob me and you might have caught one, but that's a different story. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
That's a different story. That I felt prideful in that. Don't come. I'd rather you ask me for 100,000 and me giving it to you than tell me give me $1. You know what I mean?
Well, you keep me laughing. I love it. Let me put this into play, right? So let's go back to the relationship part. One thing I think that is very, very key is people don't manage their expectations of their loved ones. Like, that's one thing I had to learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Because people would look at the external and they assume certain things, even being with you. It takes time to get to know somebody. And so, like I said, me in particular, it's about me. I remember working on different projects and having to travel. You know how that is. You go where the project is, LA, West Coast, East Coast, India, Africa, wherever it is. I remember having to leave and coming back home and expecting my person to like be all happy to see me and this and that. Like, oh, baby, welcome home off the road. You've been working hard, because that trip was hard. It was crazy. I think I was on tour with Neo. It was hard. It was like long. And I just realized at that point when I came home, he was not excited to see me. It was like just another thing, like, hey, how you doing? I fried some fish, just regular. I was like,
yeah,
really, really disappointed. But he said, you told me you was going to work. When I come home from work, I don't get flowers. I don't give a look. So I was like, oh, he should have managed my expectations early on, to let me know that wasn't his thing. And then I would have told him, you not my thing. And I wouldn't have to waste that time. But like I said, managing expectations in the very beginning will help a lot.
Managing expectations. How do you do that? Managing expectations. My question to both of y'all is how you do that. Because let me answer it first. You manage expectation by being straightforward and communicating what you feel. And a lot of people just don't do that. And you do that early on. You tell them what you want and what you expect. If you just want to get some pussy, then tell them, I just want to get some. If she just want to get some money out of you, tell him, yo, I'm here for the bag. Yo, be straightforward.
It's true.
Now y'all go ahead and tell me how do y'all go ahead and manage that expectation?
I've been married for love. I've been married for sex. Next time I'm married for money. No.
That's real.
It's your goal. It's your goal. I mean, at this point in the game, it's really managing that expectation is setting that goal. And I'm about to use a word that a lot of motherfuckers will not like. Create a fucking standard.
Facts.
Say it again. Say it again. Create a standard.
That's a fact.
I agree.
There's some things that you should not do.
That's a fact.
And sure, you were an example of that, because while you were not doing it on your tour, you still got you don't got one devil and one angel. You got two devils on one shoulder.
Right.
Year, but it's your goal and who you are. And a lot of people don't understand how black men who have a standard are. Motherfuckers call me angry. No, bitch, I got a standard. And you don't need it. I don't need Janet Jackson's. I don't need Oprah standard, but I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I got a question. Right? Okay, well, it's kind of a rhetorical statement, question, whatever, but I agree with you, first of all, because I always learned shit the hard way. Okay? I'm a hard-headed girl. I learned it. So I learned the hard way because I was getting into too many relationships that weren't working, and that was something that I should have figured out. I figured it out. But this is the thing. One thing that you just said, you really getting it in, by the way. I'm really admiring your flow over there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. Please hold up.
One thing that I think about often in some of the lessons, I won't call them bad relationships, the lessons that I've learned in those lessons, in those classes, one of the teachers taught me that being honest and being open is okay, but people also change their minds. That I had to figure out. And then, when they change their minds, then if you still want to deal with them, you got to twist and turn with the curves and the changes of their mind. Because you can set a plan, you have a goal. I got standards, right? And I have been dogged out and called all kinds of bushy bitches, and you think you better than me. Even women, you think you better than us. No, it's just some stuff I'm just not gonna do. That's for you, that's cool. Yeah. But for me, I am not going to stoop, but solo, and not because I'm better. Most of the time it's because I've been through that already. I took those classes, passed those courses, and I'm not going back through that again. So my standard level, I always tell guys, you got to be this high to ride this ride. If you get on this ride without being at this height and you fall off or you throw up or something happens to you, you get hurt, I'm not responsible because I told you got to be this. Read the rules and instructions. I'm that, but it's that easy. Like that, because what I look for out of a relationship is not. I had, let me say,
go to Instagram.
I used to have categories of men, like women, right? Like this one, I'm going to sleep with. This one going to take me shopping. This one I'm going to eat with. Like just keep it high. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real. And so if you can, what happened, Sean? I don't know.
No. I'm telling my people on Facebook to go to Instagram so they can hear and see everything better.
So there, my point is like, you know what I'm saying? I have standards. This is what I want. I won't settle. I will compromise. If that makes sense. But this is the question, Sean. You're so philosophical. What's the difference between compromising in a relationship and lowering your standard? How long do you wait? What do you measure?
Well, let me.
I can answer that real quick. I'm sorry, Sean.
Go ahead. You go, and then I'll go after you.
With those who have reached your standard. Period.
Oh, good one, Bear. I gotta write that.
Say it again, Bear. Say it again.
I knew that answer off the top. I think my grandmother told me that shit.
Say it again. Let them hear it. Say it again.
When you meet your equal, you only compromise with your standard. You don't compromise to a standard. Once you found your standard, then you compromise on that because that's who's willing enough to rock with you.
I agree. Let me go. I'm gonna go to some of the notes because I'm reading some stuff. Gustavo said, "Be whole before you seek a relationship." He also said, "When we remove the sex, many folks don't bring much to the table," and that is my answer to it. When you go ahead, Blizz, what up? When you go ahead and you get into a relationship, and yet you get intimate, that's what clouds your mind from being able to make those judgments a lot easier and a lot clearer. So
I've been stigmatized plenty of times. I will admit it. I've been stigmatized.
And guess what? It's not what up to salute. It ain't only about being whipped. It's about you opening yourself up in a lot of different ways. But if you go into that, see, I like to go into an understanding. Yo, this is what it is. There's been several times where I've had people say, "Hey, we could do this," and I had to turn it down because I'm like, "Yo, you like me too much, and I ain't here to be in love right now." I just,
real Sean Bouldin
yo,
right there.
for
you
real.
Say, you know, I've been knowing you a long time. You really talk like that,
man. Yo, I'm like, yo, I can't do it because it's gonna become a headache to me. It's gonna become a headache in the future because.
But you know what the inverse to that is, right, Sean?
What's that?
The inverse to that is, then you need to find a woman you're too much in love with to be around, and it should never be that way.
No, I agree. No, it's not about the woman. It's not about the woman. But you got to realize it ain't about the woman. It's about where my mind is at the time. If I'm looking for the relationship, then cool. But if I'm looking for the sex, then I need to be straight up and say, if they're feeling me for the character that I possess, you don't just want to have sex with me. And if you do, understand that that's what it's going to be.
You've had sex a couple of times, though.
No, but see, that's the whole thing.
About the fifth or sixth time, player. Right? It's not the first time you're like, "Oh, this is Rich Crackers." No, it's about the fifth or sixth time, and see, that's why those emotions carry along, and then you gotta break the bad news.
Nah, see that's what I don't do. See, that's what I don't do, man. Because if you do that, you're gonna have a lot of bad breaks when you break that bad news.
No, that's when you have to. It's not me. It's not you. It's me. You know.
When a woman's scorned, you ever heard that? You ever heard that saying? When a woman's scorned.
Your man paid you and sent you some stripper shit so she. Yeah, really. Yeah. You gotta end it, bro. You hit.
You have to
be the villain when you end it.
Man, look, I ain't trying to start it because that right there, I'm too old for that, man. that takes people to prison.
No. See, being a villain is sometimes just being that individual straight talk, straight up. Yo, it's the 5th or 6th time. We balling out. That's beautiful, but I don't think this is going to go any further than that.
Bear, guess what? Bear, guess what? Me, it's the other way around. I'm like, yo, the first time, it's not going.
Tell the first time?
I'm like,
nigga, you need to write that book.
I'm saying.
Tell the first time?
You
need to start teaching that fucking seminar, because do you know how many motherfucking niggas would get out of their problems if they knew the first time they stuck that thing and that thing and then that thing said that thing?
Well, you got to realize, when I say the first time, it's before I stick that thing and that thing and that thing, because I'm sitting there talking and figuring it all out before I even stick the thing and the thing and the thing and the thing. Now, that's why, once again, when people pay, I understand it now. I never paid, but I understand it. I paid for others. I get it, because once you put that thing and that thing and that thing is over. Because that's when you're right. If you don't find a woman who crazy, you find a woman who crazy, somebody going to jail.
Well, let me tell you about the man that be crazy, right? Let me come to the ladies. Where my ladies at? Okay.
Where my ladies at?
Man, that's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The stalker, you got all that. And I don't even
Jojo, what up?
Like the violence or nothing like that, but like just real little
go
crazy
to Instagram,
stuff, like
online.
smelling your panties, little silly, stupid stuff, or like the woman come. My friend was telling me, somebody was telling me about a friend smelling the man's penis when he come home from work. You know, a little crazy, like that type of obsession.
He ain't that fine, because he wouldn't be with your dumb ass. He ain't that fine. You coming home, you gotta smell his drawer like he that slick. Come on, stop it.
But the funny thing is,
but let me tell you something. Men do this thing. You have your equal sides of crazy on women's side, crazy on men's side. Because I'm telling you, I done had some crazy men. And let me just say this. Yes, after the first time. Now, I talk sometimes, and I have the conversation and blah, blah, blah before I've had those conversations. But when it was straight physical, the first time, and we didn't get to know each other and all of that, yes, it's true. They get a little cuckoo. They get a little crazy. But it happens after the first time there. First time. I already know.
Yeah. You know what the problem is?
The thing. I know. That's
been my problem, y'all. This has been...
What up, Mark?
While he in it, that
we online.
No, he crazy. Ladies,
we on IG.
Where y'all at? The lying? Oh, this mine. You ain't going nowhere.
Yo, hold on. Hold on. You know what? A woman once asked me, "What's the biggest lie you ever told?" Or what you think the biggest lie I ever told? I said, when you told him it was his. This mine, right? I mean, but that
first thing it's never yours. It's always hers.
Ever.
It's never yours.
Ever.
Some logical men, but I'm telling you, it's some crazy men.
No, we get it. We get it. We get it. That's why we're talking about it. We don't went into a whole nother thing. That we get that, but there's crazy. But there's crazy on both sides. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. Women be on some it's mine. Let's not get it twisted. It's mine.
I'm still stuck on the first time, y'all.
I'm saying
that y'all done helped me today. You feel me?
I be paying attention.
Yo, you know what it is, Ben?
6 times if the first time was trash.
But you know what it is? It's a double.
No, I don't mean that the first time is trash. I kind of okay. It's like the first time is like, oh, this is you, but you're really applying the personality too. That's kind of what I mean. So about the 6th time with the personality, I mean, and the 6th time could be in like 3 or 4 days.
I guess you're right, but I guess the way I feel about that is that all that night. Wow, you're right.
That night, but you haven't had. I mean, there's got to be conversations in between them joints.
Oh yeah, like get some more condoms or go get
spending some time around each other.
You know why it's so. You know why it's so easy.
Hey, you ain't come to my house to be talking to me all night. Do what you came to do.
I want you to come over for a long weekend because I want to see when you want to leave.
Well, see, y'all take it to a place where I'm like, oh hell no. You're gonna know what you're gonna know what you're coming over for or where you going before you get there. I'm just gonna be on the strength, yo. And we could have intimacy. We can have, but if that I guess that's what it boils down to. No, what y'all said earlier, knowing what your goal is. If your goal is just sex, then that's what it is. But if your goal is to have a long-term relationship, you know that as well. You know that, yo, this ain't the person for that. If you're clouded with, yo, I'm just trying to get in them drawers, then you ain't gonna figure none of that out until after you get in them drawers. You know what I'm saying? And then once you get in them drawers, you're gonna figure out cuckoo. and then you're gonna be stuck. You're gonna have to show your cuckoo-ness.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? So at this point, at our age and our experience, we beyond that. Now, when we were younger, cool.
Man said 30 is mature. I'm only 27.
And your son is 23. That is a miracle.
Hold on. Half your age, 15.
Yo, Bear, I don't even know why. She just said her son is 23. I don't even know why you even trying to think about that, Bear.
What, you for real, right?
I don't even, I heard the 23.
I ain't got no kid. All of a sudden, you on her porch, 6'5" motherfucker show up. You're like, who this nigga? It's her son. You ready to do him in?
Man.
You done left them shoes by the door, haven't you?
Man.
I did. No shade, I really did. I did.
I know you did.
You caught that. But this is, you know what, this real, I appreciate the fact that y'all can be honest about this because men don't like to, I'm not going to say men, some people don't like to talk about it. And a lot, I see in the comments a little bit that the people are saying communication is key. And that is so true. I'm going to keep it hot from the rip. One, because I don't have time. Two, because I have a short-term memory bank that's really, really transient. So like in and out, in and out, in and out. You know what I'm saying? If it's not that important, and in a relationship, I wish people would focus on the things that when I get with somebody now, they don't. You complete me. No, I'm complete, but I want to do some extra. I want dessert. I want some cherries on top. I want some whipped cream. Because when you look for somebody else to complete you, then you like kind of mess yourself up because they may